Hello and welcome back to the Coach Harris Show. Thank you so much for taking a listen today. Today's episode is going to be simple. It's going to be sweet, to the point, and I hope it's going to bring you a nice boost of motivation for your day. And not just surface level motivation, but something much deeper. I think there's an idea that we need to address with regards to fitness, with regards to making progress, with regards to success in anything. And that is the fact that content and information and messages and advice is all great when we're trying to make a change for ourselves. But it cannot ever, ever, ever replace the necessary step that is failure. And not ultimate failure, not fatal failure. That's never recommended. That's never a good thing, because when you fail so aggressively that you can't restart or you can't get back into things, then it's game over. The kind of failure that I am very accepting of, and I don't even consider failure, it's really just, it's a learning step, but that is anything that challenges you to critically think differently, to try a different action, to try again, and just to keep persevering, to learn and to challenge yourself and to push through adversity, right? What I'm really talking about is that necessary step in anybody's success. I'm going to give you an interesting analogy today that I just heard on another podcast that I was listening to. It has to do with babies. We all love babies, right? Cute little toddlers, chubby little kiddos. And they can teach us a lot of stuff about movement, about other areas, but the thing that babies are going to teach us today is why falling down, literally and metaphorically, is crucial, right? When a baby learns to walk, how do they do it? Do they watch YouTube videos on how to walk? Probably not. Do they read a book on how to walk? I don't think they would be reading quite that young. That would be incredible. Babies learn to walk by literally falling on their butt, falling on their poop-filled diapers, getting up, stumbling, right? This is a great metaphor. This is an amazing metaphor. I'm so happy I heard it, because all of the literal things that the baby does is metaphorically what we feel, right? They stumble, they catch themselves. They stumble again, they fall. They might cry, right? They feel pain, they feel embarrassed, they feel defeated. They get up. They try it again. And over and over and over, in a current day, in a week, in a month, however long it takes, they walk, right? And then they get better at walking. They stop thinking of walking as a chore. They stop thinking of it as a challenge. I don't know what they think. I can't read a baby's mind, but I would like to think that the baby is now not stressing over the idea of walking. They're not scared of the idea of walking. So they do things while they walk, and now the baby starts to move a little faster, a little more confidently. Then they start to run, and then as they get older, they start to sprint, and then they start to play sports, and then we become adults and we do amazing things with our bodies, right? You get the idea. Take this with your fitness. And even though that analogy had to do with something physical, this can go with anything. But in fitness, right, we, as in my old self, and probably you, and probably everybody on earth, because this is just how we do things as humans, we tend to search for information, shortcuts, and tactics and strategies to bypass that failure, that falling. And what I'm saying today, what I am challenging, is that while the content, the information, the strategies, the systems can be very, very helpful in speeding up the process or making the process more fulfilling, because that's exactly how I learned and enjoyed all of this, they will never, can never, should never bypass the necessary step that is falling. Now I want to come to what my purpose is with what I do, with making this podcast for you, with writing to the generous people on my email list, to FaceTiming or messaging with my clients to anything I do, the change that I seek to make in this industry, in the world, in my world at least, in my people's world, is for you to not only make those necessary falls and mistakes, but to enjoy it, right? To understand it, to learn from it, to fall forward. I got started in fitness coming on 10 years ago, and I made every mistake in the book, I'm telling you, like with my food, with my training, with my mindset, with my psychology, my emotions, the strategies I used. I would program hop every week. I would switch workouts constantly. I did 2 to 3 times the amount of the training volume that I needed to be doing or should have been doing. Wasted time, canceled on plans with people, was obsessed with things to the point that I drove my family crazy because I wouldn't ever be able to enjoy time with them or enjoy vacations. You know, I'd be running to the gym. I'd be calculating my food under the table on my phone, like all this stuff, right? I've made those mistakes. And the content I consumed, which was a ton, and I'm still consuming it in different ways for different purposes. It was a ton. I watched, thousands of YouTube videos over the years. I'm not kidding. Thousands of YouTube videos on technique, on training programs, on muscle building protocols, on how to get stronger, on how to XYZ, right? I read articles upon articles. I followed people. I emailed people asking questions. All of this stuff I did because I loved it and I was curious, and I still am. And while that content, while that information was critical in speeding certain processes up, it was critical in making the process more fulfilling because I knew that I wasn't alone. I was learning from people that were doing the same, struggling with the same, right? That made me enjoy it more because I understood that this was a thing that people were challenged by, and that got me excited, right? But what I'm getting at is that never replaced the mistakes that I was really bummed about at the time, but now I am so thankful for, right? I would search content. I would listen to people's advice. I would do the plan, and I wouldn't see the results, or something would come in my way in some way. Those are what taught me the most. Everything that I teach you on this podcast, everything that I explain to my clients, every story that I provide to my clients, every email that I have written or will write to my email list is not in bulk wisdom that comes from information that I've taken in solely. It comes from the actual things that I have done, seen, heard of, or tried, and had some kind of obstacle hit me with, right? And that's what you need to understand with your fitness, with your movement, with your success in any area of your life, right? And that is the change that I'm seeking to make with you and in my field and with what I do. I do not want to be, I never try to be the fitness coach who says that I have the best content in the world and I will just put out more and more and more and more, right? That's not who I am. Yes, there's going to be more and more things coming out because I want to give you access to learn from some of the mistakes that I made and to see that for yourself. But I will never say that my content will fix you. First of all, you're not broken. I don't care what is going on. You're not broken. But my messages, my stuff will not fix you. It will just allow you to feel confident in making those mistakes, right? When I write to you, when I talk to you, when I do whatever I can, when you read my stuff, when you watch my stuff, listen, that is not going to inherently make everything now easier in your life to the point where there's no struggle. That's not the goal, because that's not how you learn. That's not how you feel proud of yourself. The point of everything I am sharing is so when you make those struggles, you can keep going forward with a clear head. You say, oh, this isn't just me. I don't suck. I'm not failing. this is a part of the process because I heard Harris, I read from him, I saw other people that I read from and learn from. And I know that this is a part of succeeding, so I'm going to keep going. And that's my ultimate purpose, right? Is to give you the tools so you can always keep moving forward and enjoying the entire process, right? We hear enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. It sounds cliche, it sounds nice, but it's fucking real life. Like I get so excited about this concept and worried for some that don't see it, but optimistic that they will, because the process, the journey, it's not some marketing word. It's not some buzzword. It's not some trending thing. You have to enjoy the journey. It's not an option. It is or it isn't. It's your life. Like the fitness journey, the business journey, the journey in any area is literally made up of a lot of days, right? My fitness journey where I've struggled so much isn't some idea. It's every day for weeks, for months, for years, for almost a decade that I have been attempting, trying, failing, getting back up, feeling absolutely defeated at some points, feeling like an imposter with some of the things I've said, feeling all these emotions, but continuing to try to learn and improve and just not stop and not give up. That's it. So for you, I'm going to end it here. What I want you to take away today, and from anything moving forward that you hear from me, see from me, is not that it is should or will be perfect. It's not that everything is going to be easy now that you're hearing this stuff. You're not just going to be motivated and take that with you forever, right? But when you do have those moments, when you're feeling your self-esteem drop, when you're not feeling proud of yourself, when you are laying in bed at night feeling, shit, I messed up today, right? I missed a workout. I didn't take advantage of that time window I had. I ate like crap when I knew I could have done better. I didn't take that walk when I could have. I didn't say that nice thing to the family member close by, right? Anything that you don't feel proud of, any issue that you're dealing with, I want you to remember this episode. I want you to remember the emails that I send. I want you to remember anything I've put out, anything else that you've learned from anybody else, and know that you are not alone in that, right? Because that's what makes us quit for good, is when we think we are just alone and we're the only ones who are failing and we're worse than everybody else. Why even try? No. Every single buddy, every single person that has done something great, has done a lot of things really well, has made it to a point, has had a great journey, has had a great life, right? Has felt what you felt in some way or another, in many similar ways. Like, we're all different, yes, but we're not that different. Honestly, I'm starting to realize that the older I get and the more I learn and the more I experience, right? We are very different in many ways, but we are very, very similar in many ways as well. The emotions that we all feel in some way overlap a lot. So think about that, understand that, feel confidence from that. That's it. I will see you in the next episode. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you want more talks like this, if you want to be aware of the stuff that I do put out, email list is the place for you. You can get there right below. Ask me any questions. Just reply to any email. I'm happy to chat with you through them, right? You can go down to the description, hop on the email list, join countless others who seem to enjoy some of the things that I share with them. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you in the next episode.